Hi, I'm Richard Lloyd Jones with Dr. Claudia Bernhardt Pacheco, and welcome once again to Healing Through Consciousness. You know, this morning I was reading the comments from a former president of the Radio and Television News Directors Association who spoke about 10 years ago about radio psychology shows. And he told the New York Times way back then that good talk radio is done for the listener and not the caller. And that led me to thinking about our role on this program, because underlying this guy's comments, I think, was the attitude that radio shows, and by extension TV shows, were all about entertainment. After all, putting highly volatile people with differing points of view together on a talk show panel and fomenting their differences until the chairs started flying has been a staple of these talk/entertainment shows for a long time now. Media is all about heat, not light. Well, that's the common wisdom. But actually, I, for one, think that we should redefine what it means to do a radio advice show, or any radio talk show for that matter, and that is to bring consciousness, to educate, to illuminate, if you will. And I really think that's what we want to try to accomplish on our program, Healing Through Consciousness. So, Claudia, welcome. We've been looking forward to this program after our technical glitches of last week. You know, I know there were some people standing by to actually ask us questions last week, and they couldn't, so I'd like to make sure that people know that we are available now for calls, and I want to just, at the outset of the show here, just give you the phone numbers that you can call. They're toll-free numbers, too. If you're calling from outside North America, the toll-free number is 888-815-9756. If you're inside the United States, the number is 877-876-5227. Again, if you're inside the United States, 877-876-5227. And if you're calling worldwide, 888-815-9756. If you forget those numbers, you may not have a pen handy to write down. You can always get them from the website. The website where our program runs is at bbsradio.com, bbsradio.com. Just go to Station 1 there, and you'll see all the phone numbers listed on the page there. And that's where you can also listen to the program or get your friends to listen. All the toll-free numbers are there, and everything's available. So you can talk to us and you can ask questions, and we'd really like you to do that, because that's really what the show is all about. And our email line, and I have my email open now, so if you want to send email messages to us, if you're too shy to call, you can certainly do that too. It's joneshealing@gmail.com, joneshealing@gmail.com. Well, Claudia, we've had an extra week to prepare, and I think it would be really great to get your thoughts about the program, what you want people to know about Dr. Keppe's science, right here at the beginning as we're sort of warming up while we wait for a few people to call.
Yes. Richard, if it was your dream to accomplish this radio show, it was my dream too.
Okay.
It has always been my dream to accomplish a radio show, a talk show, where people would feel free to call in, to make their questions, and where we could give an advice that is sometimes the opposite of the advice people give in other talk shows. I'm not saying that the other talk shows are wrong or they're giving wrong advices, but we are giving another perspective, which is from within. It's another way of seeing the true deep cause of the problems, and it's mostly focused on the being. And I could name Dr. Keppe's psychoanalysis as mainly the psychoanalysis of the being. And this is very original. Keppe had his training not only in hospitals, where he worked and founded the psychosomatic department of the University of São Paulo, and he taught also in other universities in São Paulo, Brazil, but he went to Vienna, where he stayed studying, doing his training and working for 3 years with the main circles of psychoanalysis. There he studied Freud. He was introduced also to Melanie Klein's circle, deep psychology, and one of his main masters was Viktor Frankl, who was the creator of the existential school of psychoanalysis. And what was very important with Dr. Frankl's school was that Kepi was able there to develop his own thesis about psychoanalysis. He started his work and research with Frankl, and Frankl was very liberal. He was very open-minded, and contrary to Freud, he didn't work with the unconscious. He was more existentialist. Therefore, his ideas were more related to the responsibility of the being. The human beings should be more responsible for what they do and what they live and what they suffer. And not only that, but also perceiving that consciousness, or which he called more being responsible, responsible for the meaning of your life. Giving a meaning for your life would be an important step for Frankl. So he was very philosophical. He was related to the existential school, Heidegger, Kierkegaard, Bieswanger, which were the existentialists. Therefore, Kepi was able to start his own studies, and there he found the importance of consciousness in the psychological life. Opposing also to Freud, he didn't see the main cause of the psychological or social problems related to sexual complexes or sexual Oedipus complexes. And in the unconscious, he was more perceiving that we have such an incredible gift, which is consciousness, which he also related to transcendence. Transcendence is a more philosophical and maybe even scientific way to see our spiritual life. So spirituality, not as an institutional point of view, was always related to Kepi's work.
Mm-hmm. You know, what's interesting, Claudia, is that Frankl, I think, believed a lot in trying to find meaning in life, the search for meaning.
Yeah, The Search for Meaning was the name of his book.
But Kepi believes that meaning is already inherent in the being, right?
Yes, yes.
That we have consciousness, we have a sense of who we are already.
That life has its meaning.
Yeah.
And we should just adapt to it, and to adapt to our own essence. And the meaning of life, and the meaning of the existence of the essence is that being is good, beautiful,